market in 2022. Welcome, Andrew.
Thanks, Catherine. I'm thrilled to be with you all.
Well, good. Well, we're learning about, the housing market, trends that we are going to see here kicking off the new year. What do you kind of see the housing market trending toward?
So I wrote a book. I don't know if you remember, but there was a moment about 2 years ago where we all had no idea what was going to happen as COVID came across into the United States. And I started thinking about what was going to happen. And I'm going to give you a overall trend. People aren't going back to work. And I write about it in my book. I write on the second chapter that with people not going back to work, suburbs and ex-suburbs are about to change. But then that spiraled over, Catherine, because we had all these people that weren't paying their mortgage and weren't paying their rent, and we had moratoriums. But guess what 2022 is? We're going to start seeing that everyone's moratoriums are going to be over, and there's going to be an influx of housing inventory. But you know what? It's going to be distressed inventory, and it's going to be an opportunity for strategic investors to make money.
Interesting. So when it comes to kind of this strategy, what do you think would be kind of a way to approach it?
I think, first of all, we have to go with a global strategy. We used to think that work was concentrated around cities. If you haven't noticed already, and I'm sure you have, people have moved outside the cities. There's actually a Facebook group called Into the Unknown, where they talk about they're going to go move to suburbs and ex-suburbs and rural areas, because now they only have to go to the work once a week, once a month. And now what we're seeing is people that used to pay premium dollars for cities now bringing that money to the suburbs. We're going to see that spiral. But to answer your question, Catherine, about strategies, you see, there's never been a book that I've found. I love real estate books, but there's never one that told us how to negotiate, what goes in a contract, how to evaluate property and evaluate your time, how to write a business plan. And that's why my wife and I, we wrote this together. That's why we put this book together, 10 strategies to purchase property post-pandemic, because you see the pandemic changed everything in the real estate market.
Oh, it really has changed everything. Is this a good time to sell?
So I think every time is a good time to sell if you gotta go. What does that mean? So I think we should always be thinking, one, because you started this conversation with its houses. People too often allow finances to dictate housing decisions. And I want to put out a differentiator between an investment property and a house. If you're downsizing because your family's no longer living with you, or you need to move to a care facility, or move closer to family, or change for a job, don't hesitate and let your house change what you're doing. Now, let's talk about, is it a good time to sell? Yeah, I just unloaded an investment property myself. I think we're getting to the pinnacle of the market, which goes to one of my real predictions for this year. This year, you could be a real estate broker and be brain dead because houses were moving so fast. You just had to put it on the market. You're going to see a more professional broker enter the marketplace coming in 2022, because as the months go on, it's going to become harder to sell. It's going to become more of a buyer's market. So if you haven't sold yet and you're an investor, sell now, go into cash, get ready to buy.
All right, Andrew, quickly, we're running out of time. Where can we go for your book and more info?
My book, you could just go and you could go on Amazon, you could go on Barnes & Noble, you could just go to theliebcast.com, which is my podcast, and we sell the book there. But just put in 10 strategies to purchase property on any Google search, because you want to get substance to make smart investment decisions so you can invest properly today in 2022.
All right, Andrew, thank you so much for being with us today. We're back with another check of your first solar forecast and headlines after the break.